Another day, another talking about games getting shut down and closures and all this other fun stuff. What is up, everybody? It is your favorite skill issue Goldener Steven, and welcome to this episode of the Golden Cast. Today we're going to be talking about two games that are starting to shut down to the point that I wasn't even able to re-download one just to try to make some footage to talk about it. As well as where I think the games industry is going, because it's going to hell in a handbasket really quick. So to start, where do I think the game Let's start with the games that are getting shut down. So, XDefiant, it's only been 6 months since that game came out, and it is now already on the chopping block. June 2025 is when it will be offline and taken off like servers and stuff. But as of right now, no new registries or even new downloads are allowed to be completed towards the game. Now I thought, okay, maybe you just can't download the game now. No, even if you've had it before, you can no longer re-download the game. You can't even re-download it. I tried to re-download it to try to make just some little videos and stuff on that to kind of talk about maybe where I thought it failed, where I thought it did good, things like that. Now, if you remember, I did play the beta. I played the beta for it, and I played a little bit of the actual game itself, but never really got into it that much. But I think where it failed to capture most of the people was... Well, not really most of the people. I think what happened was it did what it needed to do for the time. See, the problem is in today's gaming, we're seeing with a lot of video games like Concord. I think there was like another one just recently shut its doors and shut down too. But it's like games like Concord now with XDefiant, things like that. It's like it's trying so hard to grasp people in and want to be like, hey, come to our game, come play our game. And live service is kind of taking over. And I think we're seeing a resurgence now where live service games are slowly dying and withering away. And I think I'm just going to be blunt and say it, I think that's a good thing. We need more live service games to kind of die away, because then it will go back to regular gaming of single player games and things like that. And that's something that we need. We need more single player games. We do. We need more single player games. The gaming industry as a whole, the AAA space, is just, they're all really obsessed with just money. That's what they want. They want money. And it sucks because they want to make money. And I mean, I also see where that makes sense. But the problem is like a lot of people see it as just a lot of people see gaming as just a way to make money. They don't give a crap about the gamers. Getting back on track with XDefiant. XDefiant was perfect for the time because when it came out, there was really nothing to compete against. And it tried its best to be the Call of Duty killer or the Call of Duty competitor that, honestly, we haven't had a good Call of Duty competitor since maybe Battlefield 4. Maybe. Like, Battlefield 4 is probably like the best chance we've had at a Call of Duty killer or competitor. And XDefiant was like the closest. Now, if you remember, XDefiant was that shooter game with different abilities, different operators, and each operator was part of a faction from a different Ubisoft title. Now, the game came out, like I said, 6 months ago, and it was doing numbers and wonders, and everyone's like, holy crap, it's going to be a good game, it's going to be free to play, it's going to be perfect, it's going to be awesome. Because the Call of Duty people were itching for something new that felt like Call of Duty, because they weren't happy with MW3, but they were waiting for Black Ops 6. So XDefiant came out when they could focus on Black Ops, on just having something to get them to Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6 comes out, their numbers start to deteriorate. I remember even now what makes this even worse is like a few months ago, like 2 months ago, the main guy, I can't remember his last name is, first name is Mark, from XDefiant was like, there's rumors this game is shutting down. We're fine. We have seasons 4. We have seasons 3 and 4 in the works, in the books. We're ready to release them. We're going to go. They're releasing season 3, but that's it. Season 4 has been canned. They're pretty much done season 4, but they decided to can it. And it goes back to the problem of live service games is games nowadays want you to be in their ecosystem and in their games forever. They want you to be that game that you put 1,000 hours a year into. And every game is fighting for that. XDefiant, I think, had a good chance because it was going to try to be that Call of Duty competitor. The problem is they put all their eggs in one basket in one go, and we're like, this is it. This is what you need. And the game was fun, but honestly, we're at the point now where Call of Duty might as well be its own genre. There's FPSs, then there's Call of Duty. Because nothing's going to beat Call of Duty. Nothing will. And the problem is that AAA games are putting so much money, time, resources into something, then it flops, then it causes closures and studios to shut down. 3 Ubisoft studios that were working on XDefiant, their San Francisco, their Australia, and their Tokyo studios have to shut down. I think 210, 250, somewhere in that range, people are getting laid off, adding to more layoffs and closures throughout the year. Shocker. And I think it's causing a downfall in gaming. Now, I think this live service stuff is going to cause a downfall in gaming to the point that it's either going to... Sean Booker from Top Down Perspective put it this way. He's like, this is how bad I think the gaming industry is going to get, and I do not like it. We're at the point where if they don't learn their lesson and fix things, within 2 years from now, we're only going to get remakes and remasters because those people know that those are games that sell money. And I will add on to it. I think if they go that route where within 2 years from now, the only games that are coming out are remasters and remakes, I think that generally within probably 10 years from now, the gaming industry may be gone. Or like so non-existent, it'll be like a in-between Atari and Nintendo thing where people are like, who gives a crap about gaming? Like, it's to the point that so many indie developers are having trouble publishing the game because no one wants to take the risk of publishing it anymore. Nobody wants to take the publishing risk anymore. Now, if you're someone who is like my wife or some of my other friends who they just play video games and enjoy it, they don't really care about the behind the scenes, the back end stuff, to them you're just going whatever. And even to someone like me too, in a certain extent, I'm like, you know what, if games slow down or don't come out or stop coming out, that's perfectly fine with me. I have a huge backlog of games I genuinely want to play. I know everyone's like, oh, if you have a backlog of game, that's fine, it's because you weren't interested in the game. No, I have some games I've never touched yet, or I just have games I just genuinely want to play that I just haven't been able to play yet. So the gaming industry is going downhill, except for our fun friends over here. They're just, I generally think that what's going to happen is the gaming industry, the PC, Xbox, and PlayStation part is going to go to hell in a handbasket, and this guy is going to be like the top selling console game company ever. Like, Nintendo was literally the dog from that meme of this is fine. He's just sitting there while everything around him crashes and burns, and they're just like, hey, Switch. Like, that's just Nintendo. But Nintendo does Nintendo things, and Nintendo seems to be doing, in a weird way, almost the right things. As far as I'm aware, and I don't remember hearing anything, there's been no layoffs at Nintendo. There's been no studio closures at Nintendo. There's been none of that at Nintendo these last few years, despite the fact that Nintendo's not putting out, like, billion-dollar sellers or really live service games. Like, Nintendo, I don't know. I'm going to do a Golden Cast episode on just Nintendo themselves. I've made a video on it like many, many years ago of like Nintendo's in its own league, and they really are. Like, you get companies like XDefiant, it's like, oh crap, our game's not doing well, we gotta shut down. Meanwhile, Nintendo's over here like, yo, we're gonna release DLC for a game that came out like 2013, we're gonna release it now. If you guys are cool with that. Like, we're Nintendo idiot fans, we're gonna like it. Same with the Switch. Like, I generally think even when the Switch 2 comes out, they're still gonna release games for the Switch 1. And the Switch 1 is still gonna be like a top-selling console. Like, Nintendo has this weird thing that I genuinely think, now that I say, and I'm talking to myself about it, I don't think gaming's gonna go completely gone in 10 years. In 10 years, Nintendo is going to be the king of the gaming industry again. It's right now PlayStation and PC are fighting for it. Xbox has kind of been like, we lost whatever, we'll bring our shit wherever we need to bring it so we can get some money. Nintendo's going to be just on top. They're going to be sitting there sipping whatever Japanese people drink and just watching the downfall in front of them. While their leader just kind of goes, huh? We're in the red right now? I'll cut my budget by 20. I'll cut my paycheck by 20%. What? If I cut it by 25, we're in the green? 25. Shout out to Satoru Iwata. He, I think it was December when he passed away. That was a good man. See, that is the guy that I like. I wish the gaming industry would like. He deserves to be on video games Mount Rushmore. He was a guy, for those who are watching this and maybe don't know who Satoru Iwata was. He was the guy when the Wii U was a commercial failure. He took a 55% pay cut to make sure nobody got laid off or lost their jobs. He cut his own salary to make sure his employees still got paid. And when asked why he did it, he said, if we laid people off to be back in the green here at Nintendo after the Wii U, sure, we would have been okay. Like, on pen and paper, finance-wise, we'd be okay if we did layoffs. Mentally and morale-wise, no. He said, because picture it this way. You're working at a job with like a great mate, a best friend, and you both together are coming together to create something special, and all of a sudden one of you gets laid off and let go. You're not going to be creating anything special because you're like, bro, I can't even work well because I'm not with this person. Like, he was like the good example of it. I know I'm going off a tangent, but it's one of these things that like Nintendo's not doing live service games. They're doing just fine. Nintendo only really does a bunch of single player games or couch co-op games. They're still doing fine. Many of the games that are released this year were probably high 70s, low 80s. Perfectly fine. Genuinely, Nintendo is doing something wild that a lot of companies can't just figure it out. And XDefiant's one of them. I was going to talk about another one that's slowly starting to shut itself down too. Foamstars is getting shut down. It's all these live service games asking for your attention, and then it's not working, so they have to be forced to shut down the studio to be like, oh, well, we got to make ends meet somehow. Better shut down the studio. And it's not working. And it's something that a lot of game companies need to realize. They need to work at it. Like, they need to, honestly, they should be researching Nintendo, figure out what the heck they're doing. Nintendo's just making games. They're making great games. They may not look, graphically appealing and may not be like running at, 144 FPS or whatever the frick people want, or all this crap, 8K graphical crap people want. But Nintendo's making games that they know will sell. Like, Nintendo's like, we're not going to make sure the blade of grass on your computer screen looks the same as the blade of grass outside. We're here to make the games fun and enjoyable, and that's what they are showing. And sure, the games may not be high 90s, but they're good enough. That's all that really matters. Genuinely, like, I genuinely think that's all that really matters. And I know I went on a tangent talking about Nintendo, and I meant to talk about XDefiant and how I did start the first little bit of this talking about XDefiant. XDefiant was good, but what I want to do is I'm going to make a video talking about two games that aren't really Call of Duty competitors. They don't have the marketing push or anything like that of Call of Duty competitors, but they are free-to-play FPSs within the realm of Call of Duty that are doing just fine. Never had to shut down, never closed, never really heard of any layoffs coming from the companies. And those two games being Iron Sight and Combat Masters. Two really generic names for video game FPSs, if I'm honest. Like, really generic names. But they work. That's the thing. These games are working, and that's what is helping a lot of these people is, our games they're doing great. They're doing awesome. They're doing wonderful. And that's what really matters, is the games are doing good. That's all people want. They just want the games to do good, and they are doing good. And that's perfect. That's just like, I don't know what else to say, what else to do here. I'm kind of, I don't know. My brain's a little fried right now. But anyways, I'm just going to stop there. I want to do more of these longer. These have more discussions, but I need more people to do that. But yeah, it's wild to me that XDefiant's getting shut down and Foamstars getting shut down because they try to do this live service model that is just not working. So it's going to lead to shutdowns. It's going to lead to closures of studios. It's going to lead to game people. And like, so many people are even saying, like, a lot of people have actually started saying, like, don't even go to school or anything like that to be a game designer because it's not going to work. Like, make your indie game, put it on Indie Gala for like $5, and go from there. Or figure out a way. I think Steam will let you post almost anything. Go through the Steam upload thing and try to upload your game to Steam. That'd be like the best way, honestly. If you are an indie developer and you want to like get your game out there, put it on Steam. Steam is gonna be where you're gonna be really hitting the home run there. But it's just wild to me that all this money and time and resources are going to basically waste. Like, in today's society, we're slowly seeing the decline of live service games, and I'm kind of okay with it. As somebody who I do like, don't get me wrong, I like my Call of Duty. I do enjoy Black Ops 3, Black Ops 6, MW3. I've been playing all the Call of Duties. I do enjoy those live service games. They will add things like a battle pass and stuff like that, right? Like, I do enjoy them, but they're not my... I'm much more of a single player guy. Like, right now, before I even started recording this, I just put like another 3-4 hours into Dragon Age, and I'm working my way through that game. I'm freaking loving it. It's such a good game. But like, I'm more of a single player guy. So of course, the idea of the decline of live service games is perfect for me. But it's also realizing that like people are just hopping on this trend only for it to fail. Like, we bring up Concord. Concord lasted 11 days. You can't get it anymore. That is the biggest commercial failure in like the last ever. Like, I can't remember a game that has fricked up so bad like Concord that within 11 days it was taken off the shelf. Like, it was awful. But anyways, that's going to do it for me in today's episode of the Golden Cast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, let me know if you got anything you want me to discuss or talk about. And I'm not going to confirm anything. There's things in the works that next year this may come back. More people. I may try to get like 1 or 2 more people just so we can have a discussion on this. Maybe like a weekly thing. We just bring any news or gaming related topics we want to talk about. As well as I want to do Golden Cast episodes where I specifically focus on a game. So, for example, like I said, Dragon Age of Veilguard. Once I finish Dragon Age of Veilguard, maybe a Golden Cast episode will come up literally just about Dragon Age of Veilguard. Where all I talk about for like the whole time, like 30 minutes to an hour, is Dragon Age of Veilguard. Just something I want to talk about. I have so many gaming-related topics, I just need some platform to rant to. The reason why I started this is because I have so many gaming just ideas and themes and stuff I want to just talk about and rant about, and that's why I started the Golden Cast. Is literally just this is just like my soapbox to rant about things like this. I bring no real insight, no real proper information. I just want to sit here and rant about anything I want in game related, because like I said earlier, I'm one of these weirdos that I'm watching videos, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm doing all this other stuff, reading about a lot of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes within the gaming industry, because I wanted to be part of the industry at one point, and it backfired on me, and honestly, kind of glad it did. It's not looking good right now, but hey, anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name's Golden. Y'all awesome, y'all amazing. Love and care for y'all. I'll see you all next time. Peace.